Welcome to the Man Utd stream, hope you're doing well. It's Thursday morning and we've got lots of transfer news coming your way. Yes, it's been a dramatic 24 hours. I'm telling you, it's so hard to keep on top of all the transfer news this summer transfer window. It's been absolutely chaotic and it's not stopping. It doesn't look like it's going to slow down anytime soon. We've got about 9 days left before the transfer window closes and Man Utd are busy, not just for purchases but also sales. We're going to be discussing Rasmus Højlund. Could he be on his way out of United? Where did it all go wrong? How did it all go wrong? And where is he expected to be going to? We're also going to be covering the sale of Garnacho, what's happening with that. We'll bring you an update on that, and of course Man Utd purchases. We're still looking for a midfielder. There was some rumours going around yesterday that Donnarumma might be back on the scene again. We're going to be discussing that and lots more in today's show, so make sure you stick around, make sure you hit the like button on this video, and if you're not already subscribed to the Man Utd stream channel or you've come across this channel first time ever, make sure you hit the subscribe button before you leave so you can keep on top of all the transfer news and more from one single daily dose. Let's kick off today's show with Rasmus Højlund, news on his transfer out of United. Now, a couple of weeks ago we heard from Ruben Amorim, the Man Utd manager, saying that he is happy with Højlund, that he's happy in the way that Rasmus is developing and going forward in this season. And then boom, suddenly within 2 weeks everything's turned on its head. Now, one of the main reasons why that is because of the guy behind us, Sesko. Benjamin Sesko got signed and then it turned everything on its head. They didn't need another player like Højlund taking up the space of a striker at United when they had Benjamin Sesko. And Ruben Amorim was fairly direct in saying that, look, both of these players are similar and there's no point having two players of the same similarities, characteristics at the club. Hence why Højlund was on the way out. He made it clear Højlund will be sold. Now, it was a shock. It was a shock to lots of people that many of the people thought Højlund will still stay at the club. Even though Sesko's arrived, it will still mean that Højlund will get some game time, maybe not have the pressure on his head like he's had for the last couple of seasons, and he might start performing. But that wasn't to be. United want to cash out on him right now, and clearly the people are pulling the strings at United have decided that Rasmus Højlund is best off being sold. Would he have improved as a player? It is very difficult to say. Look, I've been a harsh critic of Højlund. I've always said it, that I don't feel like he's got that touch, he's got the skill to be a leading striker for Man United. Yes, maybe a bit part player, but not someone who can lead the line for United. I've likened him to Lukaku at times, where he's a bit clumsy, he uses a lot of power trying to wrestle with players, but technically he's not gifted on the ball. And that's why I believe that Højlund is being sold. There's Zirkzee on the other hand, but I feel Zirkzee is very good technically, and I think he can go on to become very good in the future. Rasmus Højlund, I just don't think he's got the core basics that are there to make himself a top player. But you might disagree, so drop your comments below. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Rasmus Højlund, and do you think he could go on to become a top world-class striker in the future? Now, I might be totally wrong on this. Rasmus Højlund might go on to become one of the best players in Europe. He might go and do what McTominay did. I mean, McTominay at Napoli, look what he did last season for them. He might be the same. Højlund might go on to Napoli and do the same thing. At United, you haven't got time to improve. You've got to hit the ground running. Sesko's going to be the same. He's not going to have time to improve. He's going to have to prove himself week in, week out immediately. And Højlund just simply didn't do that. And he didn't even show any glimpses of improvement or anything that you could look at and think, this guy's going to go ahead and become a top player in the future. So that's my take on it. You might have a completely different take on it. Drop your comments below on what you think about Rasmus Højlund. Now let's discuss this offer from Napoli. It's a loan offer for 5 million, and then Man United are pushing for an obligation to buy with another 45 million purchase price. So is Rasmus Højlund. Rasmus Højlund has made it clear he does not want to return to United. He wants, wherever he's going, he wants an obligation to buy in that contract. In that loan contract, he wants an obligation to buy. Now, you could have two different types of obligations. One is an option to buy, and then there's an obligation to buy at the end of the loan. Now, the option to buy is quite easy. It's where the loan loan ends and then the club gets to decide whether they want to buy the player or not. They can return the player to Man United or they buy the player. Now, we saw an example of this type of deal with Jadon Sancho when he went off to Chelsea. There was an option to buy for Chelsea. They didn't take up that option and they were forfeiting £5 million, or there was a fee to pay if they didn't take that option up, and they paid United £5 million and returned Jadon Sancho to United, even though we don't know where the hell Jadon Sancho is right now. Anyway, that's exactly what type of deal Napoli are proposing, but Højlund and United are pushing for the obligation to buy, where there's no choice not to buy Højlund, and at the end of the loan spell by Højlund, Napoli have to buy him. That's what Højlund is pushing for. He's made it clear that to all clubs that are interested in him, that if he moves to the club, he wants an obligation to buy by the club. He doesn't want to return to United. And well, look, I have to give him credit for where credit's due. The guy at least is serious about his career. He's not like a Jadon Sancho or anybody else that we've dealt with recently, where they just don't give a crap about what's going on in the future. At least he cares about what he's doing and he wants to work hard for wherever he's going. And he's saying to the club that if you're gonna take me on a loan, I'm gonna work hard for you and I want you to purchase me at the end of this loan. And I don't disagree with that. I do the same thing. Now, it does look like Napoli are gonna be the ones that are gonna sign Rasmus Højlund, but anything could happen in this transfer window. We saw what happened with Eze yesterday. Last night, Arsenal ended up signing him, hijacking him from Tottenham. It was a last minute deal. Tottenham thought they had him in the bag, and then suddenly it was all Arsenal, and Arsenal came in, swooped him and took him. But that's nothing to do with us right now. We'll discuss that in another show. But right now we're concentrating on Man United and their transfers. So Højlund looks set to go to Napoli, but you never know, some other club might come in for him as well in a last minute loan deal. Now, Jadon Sancho is still at United, or somewhere at United. We don't know where he is. I don't think he even turns up for training. But Jadon Sancho is still a Man United player and they've still not been able to sell him. This is becoming a situation where we could genuinely see Jadon Sancho still at United, still a United player for the next season, and he might run down his contract. Absolutely ridiculous, this guy, isn't he? He's looking for a massive payday, and I guess he's thinking, if I run down my contract next year, I can be a free agent, I can get a big sign-on fee, and that might be the ploy of his agent as well, because we're hearing that his agent wants a big payoff as well. These guys are a bunch of mercenaries and we need them out of United. I think United just need to pay him off and get him off the books, because he's that much of a bad omen for United. Now, on incomings to United, we've not heard anything in the last 24 hours in terms of them making any concrete bids for any player. We did hear rumours and reports that United were being linked to several midfield players, CDMs, in the market, but nothing yet. No bid, no official contact has been made, and the same goes for a goalkeeper. Now, the goalkeeper situation, the noises and reports that we're getting from our sources at United is that the position with the goalkeeper is that United are happy. They're satisfied with Onana and Altay Bendia going into this season. They're not looking for a new goalkeeper. There were some rumours yesterday about Donnarumma being back on the market and City not tying things up yet, and Man United might swoop in and hijack the deal. I've not heard anything. I genuinely haven't heard anything about Man United hijacking the Donnarumma deal. That is not the way United move. That's not the way United do things. They're not going to go in last minute and desperately try and sign Donnarumma. I think they know Donnarumma is set to go to City. He wants to join Pep Guardiola and his side, and he's not looking anywhere else. United really haven't got any personal terms agreed with him, and they're not going to go in there and embarrass themselves. That's what I'm hearing, but it could be completely wrong, and Donnarumma might end up at United. Who knows? But I don't think that's a possibility. I'd say if I was a betting man, I'd say it's about 10% chance that he ends up at United. Man United are more likely to go out sign somebody else, some other goalkeeper, if they have to. But right now the noises are, and the reports are from United, that they are happy with Onana as their number one goalkeeper, and they will not be making any changes this season. In terms of the midfield though, United are definitely looking for a new midfielder. We are hearing that United are looking for a stopgap replacement because they couldn't get Baleba, but they still feel they need reinforcements in that midfield because they don't feel confident that Casemiro and Ugarte will last the entire season. They need another player in there, and they will be desperately looking to sign a new centre defensive midfield player. Who that will be, we're not quite sure. There's lots of names being mentioned. Lots of CDMs are still available. We'll bring you any further developments on this possible midfield transfer as and when we get them. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can keep on top of all the transfer news and more coming out of Man United. You are watching the Man United Stream channel by the fans for the fans.